welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be moving into how to install AN fittings on a fuel line. Now that doesn't matter whether it's steel braided fuel line or nylon braided fuel line. I'm going to show you how to install AN fittings. Now, if you've never done it before or don't really have any knowledge on how it's done, hopefully this video helps you. It can be a little bit of a hassle if you don't really know what you're doing, but hopefully this video helps you. It's really not that difficult. Now, using AN fittings isn't, just, new fuel lines, stuff like that for better flowing fuel or anything like that. But a lot of people also do it because it looks nice. A lot of it's done to, well, race cars, but also show cars and stuff like that. So when installing AN fuel lines, a lot of the times people don't want to mess them up. These are anodized AN fittings. So using your regular tools, you could scratch them. Now, if you don't really care, I will show you the tools that you can use without having to buy special AN tools. So I'll show you those. So if you're not looking at spending a lot of money and doing the AN fittings, I'll show you some normal house tools to get the job done. Now, I will also show you the tools that I'll be using on these because I'm not going to demonstrate destroying one of these. I'll show you the tools that I've purchased, and they're really not expensive. They can get very expensive, so just keep that in mind. But overall, I hope this video helps you guys, and I hope you guys find it very informative. It's a great thing to know. Not that you'll be doing it all that often, but it's always a good thing to know. So if you guys enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys. So you got your fuel line, you got your AN fittings, but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on the tools that are actually made to install these without really damaging them. Now, this is possible to do without damaging them with your normal, ordinary house tools, I guess you would call it. If you have flare nut wrenches, both metric and SAE, you might be able to use those. You just have to find the right flare nut wrench for the specific AN fitting, and that will work because it'll fit over the fuel line in order to tighten it down. But if you don't have that, you can use a normal adjustable wrench. But I do suggest whenever you're using these, since they're kind of a harder metal, maybe not your adjustable wrench, but it can definitely be a harder metal than your AN fitting, which will cause it to scratch it up. So I would suggest just taking a strip of electrical tape or masking tape and actually just putting it on the insides of your wrenches or whatever you're using to tighten your AN fittings together on the line. So that's just a quick tip. You can use a normal adjustable, maybe a flare nut wrench if you got the right size, and just put some electrical tape or masking tape on the insides of them. Now, cutting the line is different. If you have a die grinder with a cutoff wheel or a razor blade, something like that, that might work in order to cut this. But anytime you do cut it, you want to make sure that you get a nice, straight, clean cut. And before you go cutting into this fuel line, make sure you take your masking tape or your electrical tape and wrap wherever you're gonna cut it. So when you do cut through the line, the braided nylon or steel doesn't fray up and go crazy on you. So that'll keep it nice and clean, and you'll be able to get your AN fitting over that. Now, if you want to go and buy the tools, they're really not that expensive. They can be expensive, quite expensive actually, if you buy a set of AN wrenches and stuff. That can get pretty expensive. Now, you guys know my vise over here is what I will be using to hold part of the AN fitting, and I have these plastic jaws which are magnetic, and it has dimples and grooves cut into them in order to hold lines and adapters and stuff like that, to hold them without marring them up. Moving back over here. Now, the tools that I purchased in order to do this job was an actual line cutter. This is good for PVC, a whole bunch of different stuff, braided fuel lines, anything like that. And it's used to create a nice clean cut. It's a ratcheting line cutter, but it's really nice. It runs roughly $20. You can get all different kinds. You can get cheaper ones with replaceable blades. These things range anywhere from $10 to probably around $50 or so. This one though, through OEM Tools, did run me $20. And then another thing I got, instead of getting a set of the AN wrenches that run roughly $100 to $150, I got the Evil Energy off of Amazon. It is also $20 and it's an adjustable wrench, but it is a softer metal and it is shaped specifically for AN fittings. So this is good for 3 to 16 AN fuel lines. So very universal and pretty nice, especially for the price. So this is what I'll be using in junction with the vice grip jaws, or the vice jaws, and we'll get these installed. It's not too bad. It can be a little frustrating if you've never done it before, but if you find a good video, hopefully this one will help you. There are many others out there. Hopefully it will help you along through the process and you can get this done easily. So starting off, I'm going to show you really how to cut the fuel line. So originally when you're starting out, what you're going to do is you're going to take your AN fitting and take it apart right here. And this is the part that's going to slide like a sleeve over the fuel line. The issue is if you put too much tape here, then you might have an issue getting this over because this is a very snug fit. But you definitely want to have tape there because you don't want the ends of the lines fraying. So I'm unable to get this over due to how much electrical tape they actually have on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of electrical tape, just enough to wrap around the fuel line once, and I'm going to go back a little bit further than where they did. Just going to wrap it around there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut right about there. So slide this over the line. Make sure this is nice and flush and straight. And just simply cut. And now we have a nice clean square cut on the line. And there's not too much electrical tape here, but it's holding that line from fraying up. We're going to start off with removing this adapter. And this is the part that will actually attach to the line, and here we have our clean cut. Got a little bit of a fray right there. Just simply press it over the line, and then in a clockwise motion with a little bit of force, just continue to turn it and push, and then keep an eye, and just keep your fuel line just a hair away from the actual lip on the inside of this fitting. And then you're good to go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this and place it in the vise. Now there are a couple dings on this that the anodized coating is just fine. There's no damage to it, but there are a few nicks and everything in it already. So I'll keep an eye out and see how it turns out after this is done. Bring it over here to the vise. Now you'll take your other fitting, simply place it in here, start to thread it in. It'll get harder to thread in the further you go down. So once you can't do it anymore with your fingers, that's when you'll use your AN wrench or whatever tool you're going to be using to get this job done. Alright, so then I'm just going to take my AN wrench, place it on the bottom of this top fitting. I'm going to make sure this is snug on here, but not sitting so low that you're going to mess up the finish on the bottom fitting. So and there we are. Got some electrical tape on there, but it actually came out really clean. So no scratches or anything caused by the tool or the vise, and it will start to force your electrical tape out the bottom of the fitting. You can simply just remove it from the line, and that is how to install an AN fitting on either nylon braided or steel braided fuel line. Really not that hard, just takes a little bit of practice, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And I think anybody that's looking at doing AN fittings, this is worth learning how to do yourself, save yourself some money, and yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys. Alrighty YouTubers, so that's it as far as installing AN fittings on a fuel line. Now, as you can tell, it's not that bad of a process. I did use the tools made specifically for installing AN fittings. So once again, that is the Evil Energy adjustable AN wrench for roughly $20. Really good price on that. Roughly $20 for the hose cutter. This also works for many other things as well, and it creates really nice clean cuts. So this, once again, is just around $20 as well. And then the only other thing you'll really need is either another adjustable wrench or AN wrench, or your vise with the softer jaws so you don't mess up the AN fittings. So it might be a little bit more of a pain in the butt if you have two of these trying to hold the line and install it. So it will be easier with the vise, but if you don't have that or you don't want to go that route, you can do it with two AN wrenches. Another thing, yeah, my vise wasn't really positioned right to do this. It was a little close to the box, so I had to angle it, but we got the job done, and the AN fitting came out really nicely. So hopefully this video helps you guys if you're thinking about installing AN fittings on your fuel lines. But once again, if you guys haven't checked out the description below, I do have a lot of tools listed there for you guys if you're interested. Also, I have my 4,500 sub gift giveaway going on right now. So it's pretty unique, not my normal giveaway. Instead of just giving one item away or a group of items, I'm actually giving you 2 items, a flashlight and a choice of your hat, as well as a choice of roughly, I think it was 5 different tools. So if you haven't checked it out, go back, check out my 4,500 sub gift giveaway, like, comment, and subscribe. And all you gotta do is create a video of your toolbox tour or your favorite or most commonly used tool. And then you'll be enrolled for your choice of a tool that I'm gonna give away to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys found this video informative and helpful, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you guys.